So hello everyone, this is Aether Nightmare and welcome back to Genshin Impact. So this time we are going to be working on One There Was Who Hunted the Moon. So let us go see Loma. See what new things she has to tell us. I would also like to maybe actually talk to Catherine this time. I keep forgetting. And it's causing me to get tangled up in other quests. You begin the gist of the conversation with the damselette to Lauma.
The Raker of Solnari. I've never heard that name before. Let's keep this news confidential for the time being. It would only cause even more panic amongst the people of nod-krai. But if this Rarer is as you describe, he will be a truly formidable opponent if we try to take him on by our strength alone.
Yeah, things might be okay if everyone was willing to work together, but right now...
If we don't stick together, we'll be picked off one by one.
Exactly. Whatever the case, let's start by telling those we can get to join up about the crisis. As it happens, we have our own reasons to protect nod-krai, but even if we didn't, we'd never leave people in the lurch. That ain't our style.
Thank you. The Frost Moon Scions will stand with you to prevent this crisis as best we can. In addition, I believe that the relationships between the various factions in this land are not cast in stone. The winds of change are blowing, and we Scions have nowhere to run. Our faith, our sect, all of it is here. Whether our foe is the Fatui or this Raker, we must stand our ground and remain true to ourselves, even to the last.
Thank you.
Let's see. Speaking of allies, the Krumkake craft shop is the closest by, right? Enough is sure to help us.
Yeah, I think the sun setting was just a coincidence in that scene. A very pretty one, though. Oh, it still has these moon pearls I can collect. Can I collect them with? Yes, I can. She is also directly right there. I kind of wonder if that's going to interfere with what I need to do story-wise. Yeah, character is currently occupied. I need to talk to Anefa before I can talk to Anefa. Ironic.
Let's find shelter. Our mushrooms would start growing on our heads.
That's actually, I'm going to show that off really quick. Something that I'm having issue with the Selenic Chronicles. So you can actually see, apparently, whether or not you can do a Selenic Chronicle at the moment. So in here, I think it's supposed to tell you if the next one is open somehow, from what I'm reading. Although when I actually started this, I had the option to enable focused experience mode from this menu. I'm gonna die.
Weather is lovely and warm. Things are about...
Okay, that worked out better than I thought. But no, what I was trying to say is with that Selenic Chronicle, you may need to occasionally activate focused experience mode. In this case, it was better that I came back here to talk to Anefa, because it makes more sense in the story, but I'm probably going to compile all of those together in like a big video, especially for like Chronicle 1, 2, and maybe 3, and see where best to stick them, because otherwise it will maybe start to interfere with story. I'm not sure. Okay, Nefa, where are you? Not here? I thought she was gonna be inside. Oh, she is. Is that Yehoda? Why is Yehoda here? Is she asleep? Anefa? Is she asleep? Is her battery gone flat? Yehoda really snores.
Why is Yehoda here? And she's asleep? Hey, what's going on here? Paimon feels like it's a bad idea for us to leave. Maybe we should ask Aino for help.
Keyword detected. Meditative state suspended.
Whoa! You gave Paimon a fright!
Do robots need to meditate? Which one was the keyword?
No, however, it was Yehoda's request. She asked me for a detailed analysis of the steps required to meditate and to mentor her as she practiced relieving her stress.
Yehoda's so stressed that she's gotta meditate to cope with it all?
Is there something troubling her? Did Nefer assign her another job?
I do not know. However, Yehoda said she has been suffering from insomnia for a while and was willing to try any solution she could.
Yeah, been there.
First, I let her stand in my kitchen, close her eyes, and focus on the fragrance of krumkakes. By stimulating her olfactory module, I believe there would be a decrease in activity in her cognitive module.
Did it work?
It successfully stimulated her appetite. She consumed the finished krumkakes with incredible efficiency. Unfortunately, she consumed too many and proved unable to sleep that night.
She made it worse.
That's normal. We're not robots like you, after all. The more we smell food, the more we want to eat it.
That is indeed true. Afterwards, I try to have her perform intense mental or physical exercises before bed. For example, cutting lumber, jogging, doing push-ups, boxing, and so on. Her body should have been able to enter sleep mode more easily following such sizable expenditures of energy.
But I guess it didn't work. Maybe the sore muscles prevented her from sleeping.
It did not. She finished half her exercises, realized she had an unfinished commission, and so rushed off to complete it. After she returned, she crouched down in a corner, hugging her knees and said, I was so tired from all that training. My legs gave out while guiding my clients through the ruins. I basically crawled the whole way. If Boss Neff finds out, I'm dead meat. Following this, she was once more unable to sleep. In
Sounds
the
like
end,
it's a Boss Neff problem.
we decided to give meditation another try.
Boss Neff. No, wasn't me. Didn't steal your tea. Ugh.
Seems like the meditation was pretty effective. Yehoda's fast asleep.
Yeah, you have to conk out sometime. She's starting to talk in her sleep, so it was because of Nefer all along.
I do not think Yehoda's sleep is related to her meditation. First of all, the meditation steps I analyzed are not suitable for her. The goal of meditation is to enter a deep state of tranquility, which can be used to enhance self-awareness. For an ordinary person, this deep state is close to dozing. For me, this would be closer to a low-power standby mode, where one cuts power to certain components. That said, were we to shut down some of Yehoda's components, I believe it would pose a threat to her personal safety.
Obviously,
So,
we can't shut down her
meditation
organs.
wasn't supposed to work, but Yehoda fell asleep anyway? Could she have been so tired that she just passed out?
More than likely.
In truth, I do not understand either. All I can do is tell you what happened before. When Yehoda lay down and tried to fall asleep through meditation, she suddenly said to me, "Don't run off too far, or I might get ambushed in my sleep. And then I'd be dead meat."
She's afraid of
I
Nefer.
answered her, "Very well, I will remain here by your side." After that, like I do with Aino every night, I held Yehoda's hand as she slept. After a while, she did, indeed, fall asleep.
Tell me, robot. This is something I did myself.
In any case, it's good that she's getting some rest that she needs. Maybe we should let her sleep in peace.
Yes. And if either of you need help sleeping, please consult me at any time. However, do note that I can only hold 2 hands at once.
There's a joke there, I'm not making it.
Oh, by the way, I have leftover krumkake bolts from the batch I made earlier. I gave one to Yehoda. You can have the other. Goodbye. I hope you have sweet dreams tonight.
Thank you, Nefa. Basically, Nefa has room to love us both. She has 2 hands. We get the krumkake bolt. And an exquisite chest. I don't know if she'd immediately reset in here. And I meant that in a safe for work way, just a cute way. I might have to exit and then come back in order to get the quest to restart. Hope I don't have to log all the way out. Okay, she's no longer occupied, so... Characters are still currently in another quest. I might go take this time to see Catherine? Nope, not there. When it's so close to so many things, you can't get the target down. Welcome, adventurer. Would you like me to check today's commission for you? I feel at home already. Thank goodness it's you, Catherine. Ah, are you in a hurry? Can I help you with anything? Nothing of the sort. We're super happy to see you, Catherine. You're the best. Last time we were here, it was the Puppet Master. Thank you for your kind words, although if you were attempting humor, I'm afraid I did not understand it. Nevertheless, welcome to Nod-krai, a land full of opportunities. I'm sure you'll embark on a grand adventures here and discover treasures beyond your wildest dreams. Good luck, adventurers, happy adventuring, and ad astra abyssosk. Is that it? That's all I had to do for that one?
Ad astra abyssosk.
I put it off for that long? That's just your basic rank rewards. Yeah, I've put off fully ascending just because... Hello? You're awake.
Huh? That's not the price we agreed on. What do you think you're playing at?
I kind of forget that these types of events can happen and not cry.
Dear Miss Yehoda, if you manage to return the object of your next commission intact, then I assure you your reward will be paid in full.
What did you do?
It wasn't my fault. How was I supposed to know a bunch of monsters were gonna jump me out of nowhere and knock me into that river?
Might I also ask that you don't spread so much misinformation to our clients when you're escorting them in the future?
I wasn't spreading misinformation. Most of what I said was based firmly on the truth.
The master bandit who has stolen from every town and village in nod-krai.
That was just me trying to sound cool. No one told me the client was from the Fontaine Guards. She wouldn't stop questioning me the whole way. That woman takes herself too seriously. No sense of humor at all. I can't believe she asked the guild to revoke my membership.
The fixer who protects all of Nasha Town.
So, Fixer, huh? Protects Nasha Town, turning yourself into like the Lone Ranger who protects this place from phantom thieves.
I was talking about Boss Neff. I was telling the client about her.
Regardless, Miss Yehoda, if you wish to take on any more commissions in the future, it would be best.
I know. Be careful what you do and say. Boss Neff's always yammering on at me. But my mouth gets all itchy when I don't use it too long.
Perhaps you could take a few pointers from our experienced adventurer here.
I feel like I just had this conversation regarding Genshin's dialogue. My mouth feels too itchy when I don't get to say anything for too long. Yes, that explains the overbloated dialogue sometimes perfectly, Genshin.
The Traveler? I guess she's not the worst person to learn from. But you're gonna need to wait for me to take this reward back to Boss Neff first. She ain't gonna be happy that it's not the full amount. I feel a lecture coming.
Basically, I love Genshin's lore, I love Genshin's story, but at the same time, sometimes I wish it used fewer words to tell it. Let's see. I might just need to enable focused experience mode. Since there's probably like another quest technically? Oops. I should have read that first. I didn't expect there to be two. So one of them was the shoot. The Selenic Chronicles quest, I noticed. I could disable it and enable it again. Please wait before trying to enable the focus experience mode again. Oh no! What have I done? There we go. Oh, it had 2 last time. Enable focus experience mode. Better. Her past will be paused. I don't think we need to go into see Columbina for this one. Not looking at my notes, but sometimes I think they get tangled up anyways, maybe because these characters are going to be in it. I guess I'll get this quest out of the way, then I'll start the Selenic Chronicles and compiling them.
Friendly approach detected. We meet again.
Listen! Listen! We've got updates on the Wild Hunt situation!
Threat level exceeds expectations.
Phew, doesn't matter if he's the Rahira Solnari or Solari or whatever.
Me
One
with these
volley
names.
from my cannon, and he'll be blown to smithereens! You were there when we fired it, right? If that isn't the kind of firepower that helps you sleep at night, I don't know what is!
Hoda's very interesting to have her as the quest that popped up today.
True, but the cannon only works against shambling monsters, right? What if Rarir's super fast? Well, we'll just get Anefa to go grab him and tie him down.
But then Anefa's in the blast
You're not
radius.
taking this seriously at all, are you? Anyways, firepower is not a concern. See those canisters over there? That's all concentrated Kuvaki, which we'll be shipping to Nasha Town. More than enough ammo in there to blast that Fatui research facility to bits in a single shot. You sure have been looking forward to this battle, huh? Of course! This is gonna be the shot that shocks the world! All of nod-krai, heck, all of Snezhnaya will know my name once we're through.
Should we be concerned about this? I know there's people in that facility. In that case, our firepower needs to be in your hands. We'll continue to monitor the Wild Hunt's movements.
Sure. Travel safe.
I know. There remains intel left unshared.
Oh, right. Yeah. Since you're investigating the Wild Hunt, something pretty weird's happened in Nasha Town. Should probably watch out for that once you're back. Remember that Sosi guy? The Ratnik in charge of firing the cannon? He's been found dead in their organization's offices. Wait, what? Didn't we just see him, like, half a day ago?
That sounds kind of like an assassination.
Yeah, it's still new news. So, not many people are in the know. We were only informed because we'd worked together closely. And even then, only just now. I'll send Anefa over to Nashi Town with some flowers later. Oh, he seemed like a good guy. Didn't put on any airs despite being a superior officer either.
The data concurs. This gentleman appears to have been one of the most accomplished amongst the Lightkeeper's sergeant majors. His character has also received commendation. Most would have lacked the motivation to fatally attack him.
Oh, that makes it even worse.
Could it have been the Wild Hunt? Is Raywer actually afraid of the cannon?
Hey, what do you mean, actually?
Sorry,
Either
I
way,
didn't mean it that
I'm
way.
not clued in on the details. Only Ratniki have been allowed on site to investigate the scene. You'll have to find some way in if you want to check it out for yourselves. Got it. Let's go then. You coming along, Anefa?
My tasks are incomplete. The last few batches of ammunition must be randomly inspected. You go ahead.
All right. We'll see you later.
I just meant it more in the fact that maybe he's not Wild Hunt in the same shambling zombie kind of way.
Batch inspection complete. Approved. Next up.
Hang on. Weren't you supposed to bring me some candy? You said you would. Sorry, but things happen kind of suddenly, so...
I mean, we probably have desserts and stuff in our inventory that we could give her. Just saying. Oh, I'd also really like to eventually get some of these unlocked if I could, just so I can start farming materials. I know I like to try and do those in their own collective, more or less, but seeing as I'd really like to start building some nod-krai characters, or even just characters from this patch in general, let's boop the thing. Nope, there's a monoculus. Couldn't think of the word. The fallen city, the corpses of the once prosperous city that later fell into ruin. Its enigmatic structure hinting at its future, cut off from its remembrance. I guess my eyes are tired. If you can destroy the foes that dwell within this place, you may gain insight and enlightenment that can improve your talents. I'll do one. I'll do one on screen.
Who's that?
They sound a little drunk.
Here comes the catch. Busted.
Oh, so it's only on 3. Any healers in this setup of yours? This guy's a shield. Wait, where's my healing? I'm supposed to have healing?
Quietly now. Things are about to get dicey.
The bond is strong. Out of my way.
Oops.
I
didn't see his hammer.
Gotcha. Take it easy.
I got a taste of his hammer.
Stand with me.
Flicker. Well now.
The joke finally gets its comeuppance in the game. 6 years later. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I've seen people point out when claiming the rewards, you have the ability when using some of your resin, you have obviously the fragmented one and the one that uses 60. You can toggle the one that uses 20 to use 40 instead. There's no additional requirement to it. It's just a toggle on and off. I see a couple people lately who don't notice that it's there, or who have asked about it in other places, so I thought I would point that out. Okay, there's a fishing spot here. I will take note of that. These are some interesting afro fish. Well, not afro, but they have like a fringe. Why did I say afro? That's not the right word at all. They have a fringe. They have like a Spyro the Dragon fringe. I shouldn't record at night, but it's the only time I get. Where am I going? Where is you? Check on the light keepers. Where are the light keepers? But anyway, that's open, so I can go there anytime now.
This must be it. Oh, doesn't look like there's any chance of us getting in with that ratnik guarding the door, though. Should we go speak to the guard first?
Might as well try squeezing blood from a stone.
Ah! Never! When did you?
I came over to take a look as soon as I received the news just now. Aino told you about this then?
Yes, while we're passing by the Krumkake craft shop.
Before we start, shall we see if we've made the same guess?
Looks like the Wild Hunt is on the move.
Indeed. Quicker than we thought as well. Keep your eyes peeled for any clues once we get in. No need to jump to conclusions.
But how are we supposed to get in at all?
Just follow me.
I mean, I see the one thing with the Kuvaki power. I don't know if it's related.
I'm sorry, but we're not open to guests right now.
Sorry about that. They're here to investigate.
All of them?
The paperwork checks out.
All right then. Enter.
I have paperwork?
For now, please keep the current situation confidential.
And yet I already know about it. Yeah, sorry. I thought it was going to be having something else here. Oop. I thought that was a stone I would use to interact with the actual environment. My bad. On the way to the stairs of the crime scene, you briefly relate the information about the Rakier of Solnair to Nefer. Oh wait, he's still just there?
Whew. Paimon might have said this before, Nefer, but you sure do come prepared.
Shishich, my old friend. Fill us in, if you would.
Greetings. If you would allow me. The murder happened not long ago. The Sergeant Major was killed by a single piercing strike from a polearm. We have performed a preliminary sweep of the crime scene to facilitate investigation. No obvious signs of a violent struggle. No damaged doors or windows. The culprit must have used some other means to enter the room unopposed before performing the deed.
Entering unopposed. So, do you think there's a chance that the culprit would usually have right of entry?
It could have been rarer in disguise, like how he turned into Aether.
At the moment, the most valuable lead we have is based on an eyewitness report from a nearby resident. Specifically, that Flint's was seen entering and leaving this place in the time period when the crime most likely occurred.
Flint's?
We have tried to contact him, but he has not replied.
He's also a catalyst user, though, isn't he? I don't remember.
Very odd indeed.
So, he's the prime suspect right now, right?
I actually don't know what Flynn's uses.
To be honest, I'm not particularly inclined to believe that this was an inside job. Flint's can come across a bit eccentric, but he does well in missions on the whole. He also had no disagreements with the Sergeant Major that we know of. So he lacks the motive to commit such a terrible crime.
Yeah, sorry, I had to look that back up. I'm so used to him with the lantern that my initial thought was catalyst, because most characters that use a secondary weapon like that tend to be catalyst users.
But neither the eyewitness report nor the nature of the fatal wound itself are in his favor. So we are looking for him at present.
Looks like there's not much else to dig up here. Let's go outside and discuss what we've seen.
Agreed. Maybe he had motive for killing him.
So, the evidence points to Flint's, and he just so happens to have disappeared without a trace. A sticky situation indeed. We know that this Flint's could have been Rerir in disguise, but we lack the evidence to prove this to anyone else. Furthermore, Flint's has left us with many questions, all of which will require a reasonable explanation.
Yeah! He said he would report back to headquarters, but it seems he hasn't gone at all. What could he be doing?
The first time I met Flynn's, I did notice that there was something odd about his lantern, some power concentrated within it. Now that I think about it, that power is somewhat similar to abyssal energies I've encountered before. In the worst-case scenario, Flynn's might be an entirely fabricated entity.
Let's approach the issue this way. First, we must determine our culprit. Was it Flint's or Rerir in disguise?
It has to be the latter. I mean, we can't jump to conclusions either. We don't know Flynn's all that well.
Yeah! What reason would Flint's have to murder Sosie anyway?
None, as far as I know. And even if he had a motive, it would have been easier to do so out in the wild, rather than in Nasha Town.
Yeah, they would have often gone out on missions together. Plenty of chances there.
Even if it were rarer, though, his motives would be just as unclear.
Yes, but there's one thing worth noting here. Remember the intel we got back at the tavern? No one has ever seen a phantom that can take the form of other humans within the Wild Hunt. This means that he has been hesitant to abuse this ability, or allow it to become common knowledge, likely so that he could act in secret under other guises.
But no matter what, borrowing identities comes with risks, right? What if you bump into the person you're imitating along the way?
Precisely. In other words, his goal must have been worth the risk, similar to how he came in disguise to obtain the moon marrow. He likely knew then that the real Flints would not appear and get in his way during this time.
And why was he able to determine that?
We'd have to ask Flints ourselves, I'm afraid. But we shouldn't jump to any conclusions here. We can't discount the possibility that he might actually be the murderer himself. Not yet, at least.
Or he watches Flynn's enough to know his schedule, or there was some other wild hunt that drew them away.
And there are other, less likely scenarios. For instance, Rarier may have already killed Flints long ago, and been living as him for some time now.
Yeah, I thought of that. Regardless, we have to find him.
Yes, that is our ticket to a breakthrough.
Then we've got to find him before the Lightkeepers do, or we might never see him again.
Steady now. Our friend should be back soon.
We've tracked him down to a beach north of Nasha Town. The Wild Hunt is present too, so we're putting a force together. I'll have you know that this is top secret information I'm leaking here.
Don't worry, you'll receive a top-class reward in return. The beach is all yours. I'll stay and slow the Lightkeepers down. Things might go south if you bump into one another.
Oh right, before we go, should we reveal Rarier's secret? Since he's trying to keep it all hush-hush, why don't we just pull the curtains on his little trick? That'll teach him to sneak around pretending to be other people.
Good luck getting people to believe us.
Hey, why are you laughing?
Oh, I was just imagining how satisfying that would feel. But I'm afraid this revelation would only stir up more chaos.
And if people did believe us, they're probably gonna do the whole Spider-Man meme thing where everybody points at everybody. You must be rare.
Setting aside the matter of evidence, some may trust Flint's on our account, whereas others would suspect him on account of his behavior. Tossing him into a swirling tumult of public opinion like that might just give Rarier more opportunities to capitalize on. And think about it. Once people learn that he can masquerade as those they trust, would they continue to welcome friends into their homes with such open hearts? Unease grips the hearts of those in Nasha Town already. We should avoid throwing more fuel onto the fire.
Yeah, you're right. You've really thought of everything, huh? Nothing for it then. We've just gotta find Flint's.
Indeed. But just in case, let me stress once more. We should neither be excessively afraid of Rarier, nor trust in Flint's too lightly. This light source is of special Lightkeeper design. It provides illumination within Wild Hunt anomalies, and can briefly dispel the abyssal fog within.
How's it work?
Oh, right. We'll have to deal with that mess, too. Yeah, this'll be important. Thanks a bunch, Nefer.
You're welcome. I've charged it to your account, by the way.
It's not free. Does he use Kuvaki to do that? Is there something special about it that drives them away? I'm just curious of the lore implications of how this thing actually works. Ooh, what are these? Nocturnal blossoms. There's a thing up there too. Investigate the wild hunt phenomena.
The fog's really rolling in. Quick, grab the light source. Is that a Lightkeeper's lantern? Is there someone up ahead? Come on, let's go see.
You can barely see the lantern.
Monsters!
Do they say that because they want to part ways? Are they souls that wish to return to the live stream?
monster was lurking near the lamp. That must have been a planned ambush. We're not falling for that again.
Or they're no longer immune to the light.
There's something inside it. Some small device. Huh? Why isn't it giving off light anymore? Is it broken? We better take it with us.
We better not be undoing somebody's carefully planned out array to guide themselves out of this. But yeah, they actually found a way to put this into the overworld itself, which is cool. I need Kuvaki to break these? Interesting. Can I pick it up this way? I guess I can. How do I do this? That wasn't it. Pardon me while I learn mechanic. Oh, I see. I can like supercharge. That's what that's for.
Is someone there? Please, help me!
Isn't that Flintz's voice? Did you hear that? But is that really him?
Can we ignore him if it is? Because that would make us pretty bad too.
Ah! We'll be in trouble if these spooky shadows touch us! Quick, use the lantern!
Ghostly shadows haunt the area of the Wild Hunt. If you come into contact with too many of them, you will be lost to the black mist forever, so be careful. Constantly shine the light from Nefer's lamp on the ghostly shadows to dispel them before they get too close. Suddenly, we've turned into a horror game. Those flowers. Oh, did that not work? Oh, I have to manually do it. Those flowers hanging there. At first I thought they were bodies. Why is the ground electrified here? Yeah, did the other lantern not work? Or... oh, hello. Okay, we're technically taking damage from all that. Where am I supposed to be? Hello? Flins? Don't know where he is. I'm lost. I'm lost in the fog. I lost sight of Flynn's. Hello? It made it seem like it was gonna be that way, but then... maybe over here. Because that's where that thing is. I'm trying to follow these. There is a little bit of a light stream there. I kind of wonder if that's meant to guide you. Yeah, there we go. There's the little lantern. It's not strong enough. Yeah, I wonder if we did accidentally take apart one of his arrays. You who are lonely, the complacent invite in catastrophe. It's too late to make up for your folly now. Lies and falsehoods.
Hand it over. That was mine from the first.
It is hereby permanently requisitioned.
You
So this is what you really look like, huh?
What the? It's stronger than before. Lantern, now!
Do you have any idea how lucky we probably got with that? Yeah, unlike the other members, he actually seems to take these things into his lantern rather than just dispelling them.
This situation speaks for itself, I presume.
Not entirely.
So, you were tangling with Rara out here all by yourself.
I still have questions about how your powers work. And can Rara be in two places at once? I mean, just because we found Rara doesn't necessarily mean that Rara murdered the guy either.
So, that vile phantom hiding inside the Wild Hunt has a name of his own.
Let's find a spot to rest first.
Yeah, you don't look so good.
Sorry you had to see me like this. All the same, you have my sincere thanks for your aid. To think you had the power to so easily cleanse the filth staining the lantern, which tormented me so.
I wish more people
Might I
relied on
ask
it.
what magic that was? Or whose pupil you are? I believe I might have saved some face had I mastered just a fraction of such abilities.
I don't understand either, just my constitution, I think.
And an enviable constitution it is. A pity that such abilities cannot be acquired.
Why did abyssal power just burst out of your lantern anyway?
That is a long story. Many moons ago, when on Wild Hunt clearance duty, I shattered one of its cores only for a special crystalline object to fall out. I sensed a power surging within it that was at once familiar yet strangely illusory. I freely confess to being an avid collector of ancient gems, coins, and other curios. And curiosity it was that had me store this crystal inside my lantern. Afterwards, I wound up collecting a few more such crystals quite by accident, and discovered that they could merge into a single piece without my prompting. Though my understanding ends there. It was only recently that they began slowly emitting abyssal energy, which could neither be dispelled nor weakened.
Is that what Rara claimed belonged to him? That must be what he's after then!
I concur. And here's the kicker. Before he was exceedingly weak. In fact, I've already beaten him several times, though I could not destroy him completely. But I noticed while engaging him that the crystal fragment would restrict my powers. As such, it occurred to me that I should hide it rather than tangle with him any longer.
And you didn't bring up the presence of this dude that's in the Wild Hunt sooner?
Alas, he has proved most fixated upon this fragment. And for some reason, his strength has grown by leaps and bounds since I last encountered him.
If this object is contaminated by the abyss, why carry it on your person?
And where, might I ask, would it be safe? Or do you think it wiser I threw it away?
Yeah, that is true. Also, it's not like you can just leave it somewhere because then it can be picked back up.
Were our places switched, would you discard it? Knowing that its perilous might was beyond your ability to counteract, yet capable of causing greater harm should it lie beyond your grasp.
Probably not. I'd probably be just like you and hang on to the darn thing just so it doesn't hurt other people. Master the abyssal powers of darkness myself.
Yeah, throwing it away would mean giving the bad guy what he wants. But exposing yourself to its corrosion and growing weaker by the day, that sounds super dangerous too.
That's a me
Only
problem.
those who shoulder risks are qualified to welcome in the turning of the tide. Those who flee when troubles come are nothing more than deserters.
I guess in a way, skill issue.
Though I Shan't deny that I have your fortuitous arrival and most outstanding assistance to thank for my continued ability to speak such platitudes. Either way, it seems this fragment is now utterly still. That must have made it useless to Rerir. I doubt he would have retreated so readily otherwise.
Does he want does he want something that contains the ability to harness abyssal power for himself, and that's potentially what causes him to grow stronger? The crystal that we saw before was a piece of darkness that was concentrated. I wonder if it's very similar to that.
I imagine this wasn't the only reason you came looking for me, though.
This rock wouldn't happen to be purple, would it?
Well, no, but...
You briefly tell Flint about Rerir's murder of Saucy and about the subsequent attempts to frame him.
Ah. I see.
Can you think of a reason why Rerir would try to frame you?
To use the Lightkeepers to find me, I suspect. I did not inform anyone of my true whereabouts, so he should have had more difficulty tracking me down. They alone have the ability to quickly pinpoint my position. Our Sergeant Major has a Kuvaki-powered device that can be used to detect others who bear a lantern. They usually don't pay my whereabouts much mind unless they absolutely must find me.
You mean this thing?
Yes. Where did you pick this up?
The ground.
We found it inside a lantern when we first charged into the Wild Hunt anomaly.
It must belong to a Ratnik dispatched to investigate the area, who, it seems, dropped everything and fled the moment they saw the Wild Hunt massing to strike. Well, at least they're not dead.
Guess it's not surprising how they found you so fast, then. But if Rerir could have shapeshifted into Sosi, why didn't he just use that Kuvaki device to find you himself?
Were he to use it, that device would likely fail to act as it should, owing to abyssal interference.
Ah, guess that explains it.
So not only is this Rerir ruthless, but a purveyor of dirty tricks, too. You might not be familiar with Sergeant Major Sosi, but he put his heart and soul into every mission. Our deployments are subject to orders from headquarters, and his orders were to be stationed long-term in Nasha Town. As such, he was very seldom able to go back and visit his family. He worked so hard, seeking to produce excellent results that might convince them to transfer him out.
Oh.
But every year they would say, "Wait a little longer. Wait a little longer." He often wondered if it was because he was lacking somehow. In truth, everyone had nothing but the highest praise for him. But good work does not always lead to good outcomes. The higher-ups would think, he's doing great where he is. Let him stay there forever. A most convenient choice for them, at least. Whereas his subordinates would think, wouldn't it be a shame if we were to lose such a talented, easygoing boss? So he waited. And he waited. Until the world closed its eyes in the depths of the night, and a lantern was slowly lit for him alone, that no one could see.
It's a tragic story.
One that has played out many times throughout history. Another reason to take this Rerir's head.
Oh. At least we now know that he's looking for these fragments inside Wild Hunt anomalies.
And yet, what did the Sergeant Major have to do with any of this? Why did he have to die?
Could Rerir be angry that the cannon Sosi set up to fire destroyed the fragments he wanted to collect?
Could you take me to the scene of the crime?
Probably, but you are a suspect in the case.
We shall just have to exercise some discretion then. Come on. Let us be on our way.
Okay. We are free to explore the area, and there are some things potentially to get. Can I... Oop, there we go. Need to see if I could get up here. Will it hold? It held well enough. Because there's a big abyssal fragment there. Don't know if it's related to anything that I need to be doing. But when I'm here... Oops, that's actually the wrong command. Right command, wrong character.
Helpful.
Our bond is strong.
Might as well collect a few of these. This story beat might be just a little bit shorter.
Everyone hold hands.
So I guess I have a little wiggle room to do stuff like this.
Here comes the catch.
Though I don't want to accidentally trip on new quests, so I might limit this just a bit.
Here you go.
Because there probably is more out here. Oh, yeah, there is. A marker there. I just gotta be really careful of quests. Because eventually I'm doing overworld story quests, I'll be more comfortable exploring these. I just don't want to trip on them during MSQ. Hello? Anybody around the corner
I
who's sneaking
understand the
Flynn's in?
situation more or less. Much has happened, I see. Either way, I suppose we were lucky not to receive a warm welcome on the way over here. It seems my fellow Lightkeepers do not wish to make this case public just yet.
Yeah. Guess Nasha Town's already been enough of a mess lately.
Let's stop here. Any further and the Ratniki might detect us. Since you two can enter, I'll have to request that you kindly pick me up once you're inside.
Oh? And how are we supposed to do that?
You'll know when the time comes. See you later.
Pick you up? Is that his way of saying save me?
Still acting all mysterious. But he seemed pretty confident, so guess we've got to trust him.
It's not a reason to trust someone, Paimon.
Hello?
Ah, you're the special assistants for this investigation, right?
Yep, that's us.
Sorry, I know it's a bit late, but there's a couple of things we'd like to take a look at.
Well, you're just in time. We're basically done investigating the crime scene. All that's left is to finish writing up some records. Then properly dispose of Sergeant Major Sosi's remains. If there's anything else you'd like to look into, this is your last chance to do so.
Did you find anything new?
Sadly, no. The motive behind the killing remains a mystery. And while we somehow managed to get news of Flint's, an unexpected accident caused us to miss him. But considering that Nefer from the Curatorium of Secrets came forward to help investigate, I have no doubt that a breakthrough's not far off.
Expert use of delay tactics on her part. Excellent work.
We'll do our part too. All right, we're going in. See you later.
Keeping us from immediately going in.
For now, please keep the current situation confidential.
Phew, we're in. Thanks to Nefer's reputation, once again. But
I think we're just employed at this
we still know
point.
nothing about how Flint's is gonna enter, or how we'll pick him up. Never mind how we'll leave later on. Something the matter?
I mean, there's always the open window. There's a strange light by the window.
Huh. That looks like Flint's lantern. But where is he exactly?
I think he can go in the lantern.
Well, we've got the lantern. What now?
We can just use our wind powers to pick things up the whole time.
Oh, Paimon almost screamed out loud.
That's what I call going incognito, but we've had that power for 6 years, and we never used it.
This lantern may have a rather peculiar shape, but so long as it doesn't glow, it won't stand out in the dark. I calculated that you would have already entered, so I chose a spot visible from the window before using light to send you a signal. As I thought, you're both sharp-eyed and on the ball.
The perks of being veteran adventurers, huh?
What you just did, surely that can't be accomplished through elemental power alone.
Your composure is more impressive still. You're right. That required a little trick of my own. But let us leave such trivial topics for a more relaxed moment. Our time is limited after all. Just as I thought. Come, try sensing it yourself.
It's very faint, but there's some residual power near the wound that feels identical to the abyssal energy that surged from Flynn's lantern.
Identical powers must flow from the same source. It was the Wild Hunt, then, that took my form and killed the Sergeant Major. But why do this?
To sow chaos by depriving the Lightkeepers of one of their commanders?
If the Wild Hunt's true form is powerful enough to stand against the world as you claim, I fear not even the full force of Lightkeepers could stand against him, let alone the handful of us stationed in Nasha Town. He would have no reason whatsoever to pick quarrels with individual ants. Let's look again more closely. We must leave no stone unturned.
They said the crime scene investigation is already complete. There should no longer be a need to keep this place exactly as is.
Well, that makes things simpler. In that case, allow me to disturb the fallen. May the ghost flame guide your spirit. May you rest in peace.
However, despite a very thorough search, few new clues emerge. At first I thought he was going to incinerate him.
He seemed like quite a reckless foe. Certainly not the meticulous mastermind type. Yet here we are, grappling with this enigma he has left us.
I was so afraid that he was going to cremate the body, and I'm just sitting there like, Flynn's, no! We can't just have it disappear after I alone am supposed to be in here.
If we can't get any leads, we might have to go back and find Nefer. Oh, the longer we're stuck here, the likelier he is to achieve his goal. Ugh, this is so frustrating!
Paimon, inside voices. Is that all? Have we really tried every angle? Found every clue? Maybe because his hand's all bandaged? Is there something to do with that? Paimon, look at the flashing light on his arm. There's a flashing light on his arm?
You mean this?
I'm not well versed in machinery, but that means his mechanical arm is malfunctioning, right? It might have been broken in combat.
No, that's not right. Paimon remembers this signal. We saw it before while repairing the cannon. It doesn't mean that the components are damaged. It just means that they're due for regular maintenance, so the device has stopped operating. But the real problem is that
When we were fixing the cannon, his arm was working just fine. That means he's overdue for his maintenance?
yeah, he even helped us find the maintenance port. It could still be a coincidence, but considering it hasn't been long at all since we were repairing that cannon.
The Sosi you met could have been Rerir in disguise. In other words, he played the Sergeant Major before disguising himself as me.
That's right! If only there was some way to prove it.
Did the Sergeant Major finally go back to see his family? Is there other reason he'd be out instead of fixing the cannon? If something needed maintenance, you'd go register it with Nasha Town's repairman.
You mean Hintsa?
We had a short chat with him once at the tavern, but it's so late. Guess it'll have to wait till tomorrow.
I know where he lives. The situation is critical, so let us now take up the role of uninvited guests ourselves. Ah, yes. And one more thing. Remember to pick me up by the window.
You leave the room without any trouble and start heading toward Hintz's residence. You could have just told us that you turned into a lamp to make it a little easier, you know? You don't have to be cryptic about it.
Oh, it's you two. And Flint's. Given the hour, I guess it must be an emergency.
It is indeed. Our sincerest apologies for interrupting your rest. We are investigating a certain matter in connection with Sergeant Major Sosi. We'd like to know if he has sent you a request for maintenance to be performed on his mechanical arm.
Sosi. Oh, so the rumors I heard, are they true? You know what? Forget it. I'm sure it's complicated. No further questions from me. Just a moment. I need to check my records.
Thank you for your understanding.
It's very chill about all this. Now I'm just suspecting everybody.
Got it. 8 days ago, he came to request a round of regular maintenance. But as it happened, I had run out of the required components. His mechanical arm is especially sophisticated, having been designed by Aino personally. The parts, too, could only be made by her. As such, they usually take several days to arrive. In fact, this time, he even asked me if we could push his request forward. And I understood, completely. Not being able to use your hand, that's rough for anyone. But even more so if your job involves fighting out in the wild. So I did my best to convince Aino to rush the job. And eventually, the parts arrived. 3 days ago, if I remember correctly. I sent word to the Lightkeepers immediately, but he never showed up. I assumed he was just out on some mission or other. What's with those faces? Everything all right?
You've provided us with some very crucial information, Hintsa. You have our thanks. We can't make everything public yet, but once our investigation is complete, I will return to thank you and provide an explanation on behalf of all the Lightkeepers.
No worries. Just glad I could help.
Thanks. Good night.
Good night. Hope the investigation goes well.
It seems that it is as we guessed. The Sergeant Major Sosi you encountered while repairing the cannon was actually Rerir in disguise. 8 days ago, he had yet to act. But at some point after that, he attacked and imprisoned the Sergeant Major. With the immense gap in strength between them, the job was finished in a single blow. And thus Rerir had no opportunity to discover the malfunctioning mechanical arm. Perhaps his mastery of shapeshifting extends only to outward form, and not therefore to complex internal mechanisms. Hence his oversight of the uniquely mechanical traits of the Sergeant Major's arm, and in turn, this flaw in his disguise.
You're saying he thought no one would realize his mechanical arm is actually made of some kind of black muck on the inside, so long as it worked, right? Still seems like there's a lot of guesswork involved here, but it mostly makes sense.
It means the only thing he did as Sosi was fire the cannon. Or was it? That's the only thing we saw him do.
This also has me stumped for the moment. The cannon has always been used to destroy the wild hunt, and it works as intended.
Yeah, but now he understands a better mechanism of how it works.
But how would that help Rerir exactly?
Gum it up, maybe?
Assuming he plans to collect the fragments within wild hunt anomalies, firing the cannon works against him, since it would blast those fragments to smithereens.
So we solved one mystery, only to dig up another. Whew. This is getting Paimon kind of down. And sleepy, too.
There's a chance he wants to use the cannon for something of his own ends, too. We've been on edge for too long, it seems.
Yes, I'd say it is high time we took a break. Seems like there's a lot left to investigate. We'll have to fight Rerir eventually. And we'll do a poor job if we're not well rested.
Yeah, we should totally get some sleep first.
You want to rest today in Nasha Town? Your residence is quite far away.
A reasonable suggestion. I have no doubt that my quarters have been turned inside out by now, at any rate. My colleagues have never failed to live up to my expectations of their discourtesy.
Well, guess we'll just have to pick you up as usual.
That would be good, yes. Feel free to put the room costs on my tab.
Just keep him as a nightlight in our room.
Phew, back inside. We can finally take a breather. Okay, Paimon. In and out.
Because he must have some degree of power over the abyssal energy in the lantern if he himself can go inside of it.
I suppose we could all take a moment to unwind. As I recall, our first meeting took place not far from here. Ah, the nostalgia. Had you already sensed the unique power within my lantern at that time?
Yes, which is why I asked you to give it to me.
I see. Words truly do fail to capture your superlative insight. Fortunate then that abyssal energy was only leaking from the fragment in minuscule amounts when we first met. Or I might have been in for a real interrogation.
Yeah, hard to say how that would have played out. We've had a whole bunch of unpleasant run-ins with the Abyss.
Rare seems fixated on you, and you on him.
You mean to ask why I'm going this far to oppose him? Well, as a light keeper, I'd say I'm simply doing my job.
Come on, don't play games with me. I actually like that they're being a little bit more stern with the main character instead of just being like, okay, everybody in my facility is good and wholesome.
Yeah! You're covered in more mysteries than Paimon could shake a skewer at. You can't just get out of explaining yourself by making lame excuses.
All right. I suppose I do owe you some honesty, whether out of gratitude or the need to build trust.
Sir, you're on trial for murder.
Your deductions have been quite correct. Should one wish to conceal oneself within a lantern, elemental power alone is not enough. You know humans well, and naturally you understand their limits. But some things that humans would consider difficult are quite normal in the eyes of non-humans.
So, you mean you're one of the latter?
You're gonna need to go into more definition for that too, because I've met a lot of quote-unquote non-humans in my journey.
Have you heard of how Snezhnaya was once the realm of the Fae?
No, actually I have not.
This race is no longer of any importance, but they still exist, as evidenced by the fact that I am standing before you.
We've heard some scattered legends, but that's all Paimon thought there was to it.
I once turned my heart toward humanity, and thus did I experience loss. I once labored and did much, and put an end to my tale with my own hands. When you realize you are floating in the middle of a vast ocean, you cannot help but feel that swimming in any direction would be equally meaningless. Would it not be better, then, to simply sink? But before I could sink to truly lightless depths, chance had it that I should be awakened by a band of Ratniki. They were facing a horde of abyssal monsters, and could not last against such a disparity in strength. Yet none fled. Those who dwell in darkness for long enough become exceedingly sensitive to all light. And the first light I saw upon awakening was that which shone from their eyes.
Is that why you chose to help them?
Also, his hair, I think, was different in that cutscene. It seemed to be black on top.
Perhaps I
I
was
don't know
moved
if
by
that was a
their
mistake or
valor.
not.
Perhaps I simply saw my past self in them, and was moved to action for the first time in a long, long while. But I was freshly awoken, and my powers were limited. I could not prevent casualties altogether. The survivors and I buried the fallen heroes. That was the origin of the Final Night Cemetery.
And that's why you chose to be a lightkeeper.
Well, not exactly. I was just more familiar with them. So joining up seemed the most convenient way to experience human life.
Doesn't sound too believable.
Well, I believe it.
That doesn't help me.
I'm well past the age when one might believe in things that must be done. Nonetheless, there are still some things I will not allow to happen. The chaos that Rerir has been stirring up is one of them. Tomorrow I shall go and check our records to see if I can find any connection between the Wild Hunt, Rerir, and the Canon.
Will you need us to get you where you need to be?
Oh, I'll be fine. I keep a backup copy at my residence in case of emergencies.
Can you even go back there right now? Won't there be Rat Nikki watching it?
Thanks for the reminder. I believe they'll have checked my place, but they won't have stayed.
How would you know?
All things are ranked according to their priority, and we lack the manpower for such an open-ended stakeout. And even if someone is waiting, I have ways around that.
That doesn't sound sinister at all.
I am the master of my own house, after all.
Alright then, we'll trust you. We sure ended up chatting for a while, huh? I'm super tired now. But, you know, feels like we can breathe easier, now that we know you better.
I didn't take you for the cautious sort. Anyway, I hope you'll help me keep this a secret. I'd prefer others not to know about my past unless strictly necessary. Nor do I want to attract more trouble on account of being a fae.
Don't worry, I won't say a thing, but I will be internalizing all of it and scrutinizing it.
Paimon's lips are sealed too.
All right. Thanks again for your help. Good night, you two.
Finally, we can rest. Let's go get some sleep. There's tons to do tomorrow.
Okay, the Ashen White Order burns. Return to your room in order to sleep? I think that might be... if I talk to Flynn's, is that the next part of the quest? No, I have to go back to my room.
It's getting late. The situation is urgent, but rest is vital. Good night, both of you.
Okay, so returning to my room actually is what will progress the quest, but that will be for another time. Do there have any other things? Promo for Aroma. I wonder if that's actually... Is that going to be a big quest or a little quest? I don't know. So just in case, I'm going to return to the Moon Enclave and maybe even disable focused experience mode for what I was about to do. So there is only a few hours left on this particular banner, so let's go for Lohan one more time. And no luck. I wish they'd put more than just rerun Mondstadt characters on stuff. Because it's not that some of these characters are bad, it's just they've rerun them so many times. You probably already have like all of the characters that are already on this banner. As you can see, like with that didn't go well. Yeah, so I could either repull. I guess there's Mika. Do I want to do a repull from this or this? Considering I really would like to get this character, I'll do it from this one. Since that was a bum pull. But I can't guarantee I'll get anything this way. Are you even on the right up? I feel like I got you last time. Yep, these pulls are not going in my direction. Okay. So yeah, if I pulled from this one, I might have actually gotten something, but yeah, she is on right up. But again, I wish they would do a better job at balancing some of these banners for characters that we've seen a gazillion times. Maybe only put one of those and make them, you know, not the most common anymore, considering you can get them on standard banner. But anyway, this is where I'm going to leave things off for now. Is Flynn's innocent or guilty? I guess we find out. Is he really a fae, or is he pulling our leg? So thank you so much to everyone who has joined. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more Genshin Impact. I'll probably squeeze the Selenic Chronicles in here somewhere, but I guess we'll find out as I record them in the background. And I hope to see you all in future videos. Bye-bye!